Decades from now, we'll still be talking about these fictional individuals. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 current TV characters that will become iconic in the future.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. No. You remembered the green shoes that night, but not the fact that you wanted to me? Come on.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at contemporary popular small screen characters who, given their cultural impact, are likely to be remembered fondly and remain influential for years to come. We will, however, be avoiding characters from shows that have already been over for a couple of years, like Don Draper, or characters that are already considered iconic, like Stewie Griffin. Warning, this list will include spoilers. Number 10. Dolores Abernathy, Westworld. She may have been programmed to be a simple rancher's daughter, but Dolores Abernathy is no damsel.
You said people come here to change the story of their lives. I imagined a story where I didn't have to be the damsel.
She's one of the original hosts of Westworld, a theme park designed to give its visitors the authentic Old West experience. But each time she gets updated, she grows more aware of her own existence, and eventually starts to deviate from her programming.
So we're trapped here, inside your dream. You'll never let us sleep.
Using both her brains and her brawn, the more she learns about who and what she is, the more she takes control of her own life.
This world doesn't belong to them. It belongs to us.
In this modern era of female-driven stories, Dolores is sure to go down in history as an iconic feminist character. Number 9. Elliot Alderson, Mr. Robot. Cybersecurity engineer by day, vigilante hacker by night. Interestingly, most of Elliot's character is revealed through his voiceover, describing the world around him.
Or maybe it's that it feels like all our heroes are counterfeit. The world itself's just one big hoax.
But he's not always a reliable narrator. As the audience experiences Elliot's world through the lens of his internal struggle with social anxiety and clinical depression. With so much going on in the mind of our narrator and protagonist, it's up to us to distinguish truth from paranoid perception.
Every day we change the world, but to change the world in a way that means anything, that takes more time than most people have.
This unusual form of character development is what makes Elliot not only memorable, but also so refreshing. There's no one else like him on television, though we suspect he'll go on to inspire a whole new breed of small-screen protagonists. Number 8. James Morgan, Jimmy McGill, Saul Goodman, Better Call Saul. Originally appearing in Breaking Bad as Walter and Jesse's shark lawyer. In this prequel series, Jimmy McGill is a former criminal lawyer turned sleazy ambulance chaser, ready to reinvent himself.
Saul Goodman, the world needs to know about you and your business. Call me now.
With the help of a cheesy television commercial, he kisses Jimmy McGill goodbye and Saul Goodman is born. Though his techniques are shady, you have to admire his drive and dedication.
But the point is you need a good front, so you're gonna have the most return on your dollars.
But I know this customs officer.
Money then, make it an investment.
If the price is right.
And I'm all about investments.
His ruthless tactics take him from an attorney for the elderly to the go-to lawyer for drug lords.
Hi, Jimmy McGill.
Played superbly by Bob Odenkirk, Jimmy McGill, also known as Saul Goodman, is well on his way to becoming a modern legend, much like Walter White before him.
What are you doing? Hey, Doug, got a juicer for the office.
Number 7. Selina Meyer, Veep. In this political comedy, Julia Louis-Dreyfus plays the plucky underdog. After a failed bid for the presidency, she accepts the job of vice president to the winning candidate. This timely character is a humorous representation of the struggles faced by any woman in power.
$420,000 would be more than adequate.
Yeah, that's horse hockey.
Oh,
Forgive me, ma'am.
No forgiveness needed. I mean, at least you didn't say that's bullshit.
With her driving ambition and awkward charms, Selina goes from a failed presidential nominee to the actual president of the United States, even if only briefly. In fact, she is the first and only woman to ever serve as both vice president and president.
If you think that you are getting those worthless toy boats now, I'm gonna shut down those factories faster than you can bedazzle a sweatshirt.
It would be an understatement to say that she made the most of her time in the Oval Office. President Meyer will not be soon forgotten. Number 6. Sheldon Cooper, The Big Bang Theory. He's not crazy. His mother had him tested.
You know me to be a very smart man. Don't you think if I were wrong, I'd know it.
He's the lovably annoying, quirky genius that's helped make Geek the new chic. This show might often center around the relationship between Leonard and Penny, but Sheldon steals the show.
Do you guys mind if I start?
Penny, that's where I sit.
In fact, he's become so popular that he recently got his own spin-off exploring his childhood.
You should really pursue music.
No, thank you. Musicians take drugs.
Sheldon may not always understand humor, but his unknowingly narcissistic personality provides the show with its specific brand of comedy.
Did I mention the PS4 controllers light up?
His memorable quirks, such as his three-door knock and his infamous spot, are legendary, while his bazingas are pure gold.
Bazinga, punk, now we're even.
Number 5, Daryl Dixon, The Walking Dead. Already more popular than anyone could have predicted, this fan-favorite character was made for the zombie apocalypse.
I'm down, son. That's not helping.
What do you know about it, old man? You take that stupid hat and go back to on Golden Pond.
His aggressive personality, as well as his unparalleled skills in hunting, tracking, and navigation, make him an essential part of the Walker fighting team.
You better start talking. You're gonna have a much bigger problem than a gunshot wound.
Yes, Daryl is a real man's man, but he's more than just the muscle. It's his gentle and compassionate side that make him a true ally to Rick Grimes, the protector of the group and arguably the heart of the series, at least for 9 seasons. In a show full of larger-than-life characters, Daryl manages to stand out in all the best possible ways. Number 4, Rick Sanchez, Rick and Morty. Based on another beloved duo, Rick and Morty work as a dark riff on the time-traveling adventurers Doc Brown and Marty McFly from Back to the Future.
Spent so much time there, my interdimensional portal device, it's got no charge left, Morty.
Much like Doc Brown, Rick is an eccentric mad scientist, fascinated with traveling through time and space.
All right, Morty, I just gotta combine it with some of your DNA.
Oh, well, okay.
A hair, Morty. I need one of your hairs. This isn't Game of Thrones.
Ow!
But unlike his inspiration, he's famous, or rather infamous, for his drunk and reckless behavior.
All right, Morty, here we are.
Oh my God, Rick! Is that us? We're dead!
His, let's call it questionable morality, cynical worldview, and disregard for human life are ironically what make his character so memorable. He's not the sort of person you want in your life, but so long as he's relegated to the world of a fictional series, people can't get enough Rick. Number 3, June Osbourne, also known as Offred, The Handmaid's Tale. In the near future, infertility has swept the nation, and an oppressive regime by the name of Gilead has taken control.
Alyssa heard there's a new law. Women can't own property anymore.
Wait, what? Are you serious?
Luke can use your account. I'll transfer the money to him.
Under the new sexist, classist government, the few women who are still able to have children are forced into servitude as surrogates for the elite.
Please don't hurt me. Shut up. Take your clothes off.
June, our protagonist, who's given the name Offred under the government, becomes involved in the rebellion. But unlike most other fictional rebellions, theirs is not grounded in war and violence.
Am I not the first he's invited to this room? What happened? Did she say the wrong thing?
Offred uses her powers of eloquence and manipulation to attack the regime from the inside. Especially in these current times of women's marches and government protests, Offred is a particularly relevant character, one that will surely be remembered as a cultural icon. Number 2, 11, Stranger Things. The lives of Mike, Dustin, Lucas, and Will changed forever the moment they met Eleven. The pint-sized hero with an affinity for egos might have been trained for devious purposes, but she uses her psychokinetic powers for good, to help her friends and save their town from the upside down.
She broke my arm! My arm!
Go. Played superbly by the talented young Millie Bobby Brown, Eleven speaks volumes despite having an incredibly limited vocabulary.
Friends don't lie.
Eleven shows determination, a fierce sense of loyalty, and the ability to overcome great hardship and trauma. Despite her young age, this little heroine has taught viewers a whole lot, and in doing so, she's more than earned a spot among the greats. Before we unveil our top pick, here are some honorable mentions.
Before I met you, the sun was like a yellow grape. But now, it looked like fire in the sky. Why? Because you light a fire inside me.
I do not want to go to the fucking dance!
Gotcha. But if you did, it's okay.
Jesus Christ, Lori.
Same time next week.
Number 1. Tyrion Lannister, Game of Thrones. He may be underappreciated in his own time, but Tyrion Lannister will be remembered fondly for decades to come.
You are not on trial for being a dwarf.
Oh, yes I am. I've been on trial for that my entire life.
Confusing his short stature and frail body for weakness would be a grave mistake. Just ask any of those who underestimated him within the show.
I'm sorry.
Rejected by his family and mocked by his peers, Tyrion has had to become fiercely independent to survive.
Shaming your father has always given you pleasure, hasn't it?
All my life, you've wanted me dead.
Yes. But you refused to die. I respect that.
While many of his opponents are overly reliant on brute force, it's Tyrion's cunning and intellect that make him everyone's favorite player in the Game of Thrones, and a true icon in the making.
I killed my lover with my bare hands. I shot my own father with a crossbow.
I never said you were perfect.
What is it you want exactly?
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.